the actual side cutaway of this optical lens is right here. So if I get a pointer and kind of go through it with you real quick, the black jacket of the solid core fiber is going to go right into here up to this edge. A little bit of the fiber, okay, is going to go into this chamber. And we designed that so it would reflect off of this angle right here and then get distributed through this optical lens. Now, installing that fiber optics, not fully ½ inch into the housing, so the black jacket of the fiber optics hits this back edge, will cause issues with light display. And the reason for that is because the light will reflect off the inner housing before it gets choked into the light chamber. Okay, so there's a specific installation for that I want to go over. This right here cutaway actually shows exactly what I described. The fiber goes all the way to the end. The fiber gets slightly stripped, so the solid core on the inside goes into the light chamber for optimum light display. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to achieve that. Once you get your module, you're going to unwrap it, and you're going to actually grab one of the fiber ends. Now the fiber end right now comes in a raw state and is slightly larger than the inside diameter of the panel mount. So what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up scuffing the surface to remove some of the black jacket so it fits inside the housing. Now you're going to want to do this before you install the panel mounts into whether it's the dash or the fairing or the center console or whatever, so you can make sure that everything properly fits before final installation. So what you're going to do is you're going to take some sandpaper, whether it's 80 grit or 100 grit, and you're going to rough up the surface, roughly 3/4 inch back. Okay, so you're going to rough up the surface, and as you're doing it, you're going to be test fitting it, making sure that it goes at least a ½ inch into the housing, so your jacket will end up at the base of the fiber chamber. So as you fit it on, you can kind of like measure it as you go. There you go. We're just about there right now. It's roughly about a ½ inch until you reach that chamber assembly. So you're going to keep going roughly until you have proper fit. Okay, now once you get proper fit, what you're going to do is during the scuffing, you might create facets on the actual end of the fiber. Now these are end glow fiber, so there's no shining through the sides or nothing. It has to be absolutely 100% clean cut, or the facets inside will actually display the light inaccurately. So with that, once it gets scuffed up for fitment and it finally fits and stuff like that, what you're going to do is you're going to take some wire strippers and you're going to use number 10 right there, and you're going to take roughly about an 1/8 inch of the jacket away. Okay, so you display the fiber itself. Now with that said, you only want a 1/16 inch going into the chamber, because any more than a 1/16, when the light displays through the fiber, you're going to see the actual solid core fiber, and it's not meant for that. It wasn't designed for that. So basically what you want to do is to just cut off with sharp razor blade, slice it down, get rid of the rough edge. Now you have a perfect cut piece of fiber right there. Now during the test fitting, you're definitely going to want to look inside the housing, make sure that there's no debris inside there, obviously. If there is, just blow it out or whatever. Oh, by the way, these are IP67 rated, so they're waterproof. So anyways, you're going to push this right in till it bottoms out. Everything fits perfect. Now, before final installation, we're going to put on this adhesive back heat shrink. And the reason why we use that is to make sure that during vibration, driving down the street, whatever, that these don't vibrate out of the housing, because a lot of times it's pretty tough to get to when you start, the installation process and you start hiding these things. So you're going to press it all the way in. Make sure that it bottoms out so your end glow fiber is just entering into the light chamber. And then you're going to bring over the heat shrink and you're going to go right up until the thread. Now this is after this housing is installed. Okay, now we're talking final assembly. The panel mount is already installed in whatever you're installing it in. You're going to push in the fiber. You're going to bring the adhesive back heat shrink right to the threads, and you're going to heat it up. And the glue inside the adhesive back is going to hold everything all together super solid. Now, we tried many different ways of securing the fiber into the housing. One of the ways we tried epoxy. We don't recommend it because sometimes pushing it in, we get a little bit of epoxy on the end of the end glow and it just distorts the light. So we opted to use 3/16 adhesive back heat shrink. So plus, like serviceability as well, if you epoxy it in, you can't pull it apart. And if you cut the fiber, now you just destroyed the housing because you can't reuse the housing. So this right here, all you do is just cut the adhesive back heat shrink, peel it back, pull everything all apart, do whatever repairs you need to do, and then you just replace a couple cent piece of heat shrink with adhesive though.